passing out papers. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting, call the special, let's see how we word this, special called meeting in Somervell County Hospital District to order. It is now 6:12 on August 3rd, 2015. Show that all members are present except for Dr. Burrows and Brett Neighbors. Item number 3, discussing it and if necessarily take action in securing a line of credit in the amount of $500,000 in anticipation of the following receipts from Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Service, Medicare low volume payment for fiscal year 2013, that's not a typo, that's really 2 years ago, of $500,000, the 1115 waiver payment for 2015, which is $500,000, and potential quarterly PIP adjustments for second quarter 2015 of $200,000.
I'll let Michael kind of walk y'all through this, if you don't mind.
Okay. Just to kind of give you a little background on each one of the projects, or each one of the proposals here. On the spreadsheet, the first one is the cancellation of the EPO program, the 1115 program with Baylor All Saints. As y'all may remember, back on August 1st, we had an agreement with Baylor to where we were IGTing on their behalf, and they were actually paying for some of the services within the hospital. And CMS kind of had an issue with the way that program was ran, so Baylor scrapped the program and basically gave us 2 weeks notice. So with that, we have incurred the full expense of all those rolled back to us. That included the ER physician's payment, the MRI payment, and the anesthesia or anesthesiologist payment, and the senior care. So what this is representing is paying the full bill on all of those. We were actually benefiting to the UPL in prior arrangement. The under budgeting of the 1115 revenue, basically we still haven't received the 2015 payment. Don't anticipate, right now the tentative date to IGT for that is October. The cost, or the UC tool has gone out, it's due back in, we've got to have it sent back in by Friday. At that point, they'll evaluate it, we'll get our payment amount, and then, you know, who knows what from there. But the anticipated date at this time is October, is what they're putting. They've changed it up a little bit now, hopefully it'll start to flow a little bit faster. Like I say, we're a year behind and have been kind of since day one on this project, or sometimes even more than a year behind. They are now pulling data straight from the cost report each year, so most of the tool is already populated, so it's a little bit less. There's been a lot of problems with the tool from day one, and that's a lot of the problems they've had with the program is kind of what one organization considers bad debt, the other might consider something a little bit different. It's one of those, so they've been trying to refine it to get it to where it truly represents what it should. With that, 2014 we received $348,735 with a budgeted of $750,000. We expect next year to be paid around $500,000. Don't know, sometimes they break those payments in half, sometimes it's a full payment. Now that they've got the tool refined a little bit, we're hoping to get a full payment in October, but who knows with that project. It's kind of been...
So what's the timeline for getting all of this money?
Can't really give you a dead set. A lot of it depends on Novitas, and we're still waiting. I'll kind of get into that one. The UC payment will be around October. From there, the next one, the PIP, I would say any day now. You know, we've sent the paperwork in. We should be. They're following another quarter. I mean, the longer they go, the quarter more they fall behind. The $500,000 for the decreased Medicare volume, that's awaiting our finalization of our 2013 cost report. The moment it's done, we can start to gather the paperwork and file for the reimbursement. And at that point, Medicare has 180 days to respond to our filing. That's kind of on that one. The PRB, or the last one for the 250,000. Then I would say PRBs, you're looking at 6 months to a year probably.
It's a longer period, yeah.
Just kind of go through some of the timelines on that. I'll kind of jump back up, give a little more detail if y'all like on these. The PIP settlement, again, as we've discussed PIP, right now we're being paid off of the first quarter of 2015, and we're awaiting the settlement for the second quarter of 2015. In that, we had 25 more admissions than we did the first quarter. So we're expecting, what they do is give you a lump sum payment back, for that period, what you should have been paid, you get that in a lump sum, and then your monthly payment, or excuse me, bi-weekly payment will be adjusted up to fit. So right now we're being paid on an average of 25 less admissions than what our payment's less than what it is. So that's how they adjust those each quarter. Trailblazer was a little more within after the quarter. It happened a little more timely. Novitas, not so much. We're awaiting that one. Give you a little background on the Medicare decreased volume. Again, for 2013, our volume fell on our Medicare side, and with that, that'll qualify us for a program that would reimburse us close to $500,000. The 2013 cost report, I will say, beginning the end of April, we have been getting correspondence from Medicare or Novitas regarding that cost report. They had some questions on bad debt. They had some things here and there. I did discuss with BKD last week, and they indicated that they were starting to see some of those closed. They've had 3 or 4 organizations within the last little while they closed out their 2013. So we're hoping that that's coming pretty quickly. At the same time, BKD indicated to me that they were actually turning complaints into CMS, which is about Novitas and their lack of timeliness on getting things done. And then the last one is the low volume. We actually submitted a letter for our low volume incentive back in 2013. Novitas indicated that they did not receive it, but at the same time we have a postmarked letter showing where we mailed it to them. We have a statement on the Pitney Bowes machine that we have that you can't backdate. There's no way to change the dates on it. And then we have also statements from the individuals that send the mail out on a daily basis. So where that goes is once the 2013 cost report is finalized, we can turn that in for a PRB or a professional review board, and they will review the evidence in that and make a ruling. So it's a little bit of background on each one of them if there's any questions. Or
Do you ever consider on something like that, if you run into that issue where they're saying that they didn't get it because of the money involved and everything else, send it certified? Return receipt.
We do send a lot of things.
They get to be like that, I don't green card showing.
Yeah.
Somebody picked it up.
From our perspective, we think it's pretty easy to, we mailed it on time. It got lost in their mail.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, but they're not willing to acknowledge that.
But I will say this, I sent a certified receipt request 2 weeks ago. It didn't come back, and neither did the DAC. Don't know where it went.
Really?
$6.44, I'll never see it again.
I don't think I've ever had that problem.
I had neither.
Wow.
Well, bottom line is, we need some cash to operate on until we start getting paid, properly. We're asking y'all to authorize a $500,000 line of credit, which will get us, hopefully get us to where we start receiving some dollars from Medicare. The PIP will be the first that we'll receive, and then we'd like to think that the low volume would be next, but probably the next would be the 11-15 funding and the low volume after that. But there's dollars here. What I was trying to show here, Michael and I, were that the first two is kind of where we got to where we are on this, but the other is that there is significant cash that's coming into the organization over the next 6 to 9 months or so. There's not even counting the 250 at the bottom, I mean, there's 1.2 million that we are truly expecting to receive between now and 6 months following the 2013 cost report, you know, and then the timing of the 11-15 payments.
So shouldn't the Budget and Finance Committee look at this first?
We probably should have, as a matter of fact. We talked about that. We probably should have brought that to you.
What's your timeline on this?
We've got an interest payment to make at the end of next, the 15th. So, that'll break us when we do that. So, what I've talked with First Financial, and I've talked with Interbank about this just to get some of that, and then we'd like to have it funded by the 15th.
So you're gonna be broke by the 15th, but you didn't want to bring it to the Budget and Finance Committee.
No.
You want to bring it to the full board at a special meeting. We had Budget and Finance Committee meeting less than a week ago,
We should brought to you. We can always say.
and you knew this. If you didn't know it, then I don't know what your planning is very much.
I don't have an answer. I mean, our answer is, we kept thinking every day that we'd get our PIP payment, and that'd give us a little bit of breathing room on it. But, I brought it to you here. We had a meeting scheduled. So, I got with Dr. Burrows.
If we got in the PIP, then we wouldn't be in a real problem on the 15th.
That's correct. That's correct.
200 would have put us in a
But
better spot.
that'd given us a couple of weeks.
I
so
understand.
Everybody's out on payday.
Yeah.
But I mean, the
So we
issue.
don't have 17 days cash on hand. As
We have no
discussed at
cash
the
on
Budget and Finance Committee, she said we have 17 days cash on hand.
We would, yeah.
At the day, at the
But
day that we did that
if we
report.
do, that's gonna put us down to zero.
Well, I'm saying if you pay your bills, if you look at your schedule for your bills and how much money you got, you should know when you're gonna run out of money,
We should have brought to you earlier. We're
You should know.
not going to argue that with you
We
at
don't
all.
know.
We should have. From our perspective, I mean, it's a game with Medicare, and it's not the first time that this organization has had to do this because of lack of payment from our payers. We did it with the previous board with the hospital district. We've had to borrow money to make the IGT before because we have no cash reserves, none.
I mean, what's your anticipation that the Budget and Finance Committee would have said no?
I would think we would look at it, try to figure out where the money is. I mean, it seems like you say we have 17
I
days
don't-
cash
I
on
don't-
hand.
I don't
Budget
see-
Finance
I don't,
Committee.
well, I
6
think
days
that
ago.
there's a lack of understanding, though. You don't realize how much money comes and goes out of this organization in a day. I mean, there might be a day when you have
I understand.
$300,000 deposit, and there might be a
But
day
when-
where you've paid $400,000 in bills.
When you got a CEO and a CFO coming to you and you say we have this many days cash on hand, I expect them to have that many days cash on hand. That includes paying the bills that they expect to be paying. If you say you're going to be broke in 2 weeks,
No, that's
you
a balance-
make
that's a
this
balance.
$500,000
That's a
payment,
balance
that's a
sheet
whole
issue.
different discussion.
It's a balance sheet item. As of that day, this is the cash that's in the bank.
That's all that means.
It's not a cash flow statement. It is a balance sheet. A balance sheet as of a certain day, these are what the accounts are.
So the days of cash on hand that you're talking about are
It's a
Hey,
dividing out
it's
the
not real.
normal, all expenses? Is that how that works?
No, it's not. No,
It's just whatever day they print.
And realize we work with groups of people who pay us, who can pay us whenever they decide to. So you can say, well, this is what we're due, and it should be paid by 45 days, but if they decide half of it they don't want to pay, they just don't pay.
The 17 days cash on hand is what the end of June?
As of June 30th. That's when
So
that.
on August 15th, that wasn't it, the 17
Well,
days?
yeah, and the other is, we make the bond payment, that's $300,000. So I guess my request is that you authorize Michael and I to go to the 3 banks in town, get with them, and see which one of them offers us the best deal for a line of credit.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
We
it.
have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
It certainly looks like we're gonna have to do something, and that certainly sounds like the most reasonable thing at this point. Hopefully we can address things faster.
We should
I
have.
think our debt ratio is already too high. I don't know how we can afford to go into more debt.
We can't afford not to.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
I mean, we can't keep the place open.
You can't keep providing all the services we're providing.
Exactly, we
obvious
need to
you
collect a
can't.
much, we need to collect a
And
much
we should
higher
cut
tax
back
rate.
in a big way.
I mean, we need to collect a much higher tax rate in order to run the
If we
facility
don't
and have
cut,
some
we
rain.
can't only go so
Have
high
some rain.
on tax rate
Well, that's right,
legally.
correct.
So,
Where the initial
you know, that's not gonna save it.
We're back to, we have to build a reserve, and we haven't, as a group, worked anywhere near towards any strategic planning, any way to try to get there, so. But I think the facts are,
We
you
have
can't,
reduced costs.
keep the, that's wonderful, but you gotta have cash coming and going out of the business to keep it going.
Yeah, when you have $1 million nearly and a half estimated coming in for what you only lost $850 for.
When's this gonna be paid back?
oh, we had asked for a 6-month, that's what we'd asked for, a 6-month line of credit.
Well, it's a line of credit, it's to
Yeah.
get money
Yeah.
when you need it, it's
Yeah.
not to hand over, you know, $1 million for us to spend it willy-nilly.
And I'm assuming we wouldn't go get the 500,000 day one, we'd go get the 200,000 that
Well,
we
we need
need.
to pay the bills.
And then in theory, when the bill comes in, we would put that back,
In theory, I'm saying.
in theory.
Yeah.
If there was money, yes.
Yeah, we can't afford it. Not
Uh,
anybody.
I certainly think we'll have regular reports on that.
Absolutely.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Show that it passed 5-1 with all voting negative.
Thank you all very much.
Last item is item number 4. Would somebody make a motion to adjourn?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand.
I want to vote, no, no.
All right, show that it passed. Paul, did you vote?
Yes, I did. I voted in the affirmative.
Okay, so it passed 6-0.